Have mercy. Well, welcome to Knowledge is Power Podcast Alive, and we are back after 2 weeks absentee. And tonight we've got my cousin, my special guest, Dr. Candice Matthews. And hello, Candice.
Hey.
Hey, everybody. Yes. But tonight we're going to be talking about the Beaumont mayor's runoff. And also we're going to talk about the results from the last election, and we're going to tell you how important this runoff election is going to be, the reason why we're here tonight. And I thank everybody for your love and your prayers, and I just love you. It's all is well. God is good. Let's just keep moving. I keep my heads up. We're going to be going around. I'm waiting on my crew to come in. They're running late tonight, but I thank everybody for keep in touch with us. That's my cousin. There we go. There's another cousin, Cheryl LeBlanc. Much love to you. Much love to you, my cousin. With a big shout out to Cheryl LeBlanc. Yes, we are going to be tonight. We're going to be talking about the city election race on last Saturday, and also we're going to be talking about the upcoming Beaumont mayor runoff with Robin Mouton and Roy West. So with that said, we're going to. And also my guest here, she's here with us, and we're going to talk about in general what we need to do here in Beaumont, Texas. This is our opportunity. We have never been this close before. So with that said, we're going to go to our intro, and we're coming back with Dr. Candice Matthews, and hopefully my crew will be with us. Welcome to Knowledge is Power Podcast Live with your host, Tony Redfro, and my co-hosts, LaDonna Sherwood and Francis Lawkins.
Knowledge is Power Podcast Live starts now.
Knowledge is Power Podcast Live is a platform to share important information by educating the Southeast Texas African-American communities with valuable information on health, education, financial, politics, business, and others. And tonight, our guest is going to be Dr. Candice Matthews. Candy, hello.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm just great. I'm just sitting here waiting on my crew to come on board. They're so late all the time. So we've been out a week, 10 days. So we're back to inform the community of Beaumont, Texas tonight. This is dedicated to the African-American community of Beaumont, Texas tonight. And it's very important that they know that why is this important? This is why we're here tonight, to talk about and have the discussion about Beaumont, Texas, and this mayor runoff race. So, Candice, you got the floor until my guest gets here, my crew gets here.
Well, I just want to say Beaumont is like my second home. I really have ownership with Beaumont because my papa, my grandma, my daddy, my uncles, aunts, cousins, everybody down there. That's why I would never date nobody in Beaumont because damn near I'm kin to them. Okay. And so I just want to say that I have ownership in Beaumont. I'm sure y'all saw me on the news down there coming raising Cain, because the thing that I came down there for is because your Speaker of the House is from Beaumont, right? And so we've been down there at the state capitol fighting tooth and nail about this Senate Bill 7 and this House Bill 6, where it deals with pretty much an assault on our democracy, and they calling it voter integrity. There ain't nothing, no voter integrity with that. They trying to put all of these obstacles in place to keep Black and brown people from wanting to go vote, right? And so the thing that I found interesting is that you want to put this in place because y'all losing? Like, really? So that's what we doing? So you want to have people video recording us while we voting? I'm telling you, it's going to be a windmill fight going on at the voting polls between that kind of stuff. That is ridiculous. That's why we had to come down there to Beaumont to raise awareness, because we need you guys to know how powerful your vote is. Because if it wasn't powerful, why they trying to suppress it? Okay.
Absolutely.
So and when I was there, matter of fact, I was in Beaumont Saturday. Jefferson County Democrats had did like a fundraiser. We came down to support down there, and it was very, very good. We really enjoyed coming down there. And it was funny because it was at Sparks Park. I remember I used to play at that park over in Virginia States. So it was just a breath of fresh air just to come down there and just see how people were registering to vote, how, you know, people were donating for the barbecue, for Broussard's barbecue. I mean, my daddy's gonna get them links from over there. So, I mean, it was just awesome just to be in Beaumont and then just to even partake with Jefferson County politics. And so, and I noticed that you guys have an African-American female that's running for mayor.
Right.
And that is awesome. So I'm sure that the coalition in Beaumont is backing her, correct?
Yes, but we want to unite everybody.
Absolutely, we're trying to gather our business together to make sure that we get the first African-American female mayor. Yes,
and I think that's going to be awesome, because at the pivotal point that we are right now, it is a change agent time. And what I've noticed about Jefferson County, y'all have a lot of young people that have been running for office as well. Even your Jefferson County party chair, Joseph Trahan. And I like the ideas that he was coming up with, and we kind of collaborated on some things. And so I'm just excited just to even hear that y'all have an African-American female that's running for mayor. So I just want to say this to the people of Beaumont. Now, y'all notice the date that they put the runoff election date, huh? What date is that?
Juneteenth.
Talk about it.
What we do for Juneteenth?
Party. We celebrate, we party.
Okay. And last I checked, I know I'm gonna be over there drinking some Hennessy somewhere. So who's gonna be going to the voting poll? You see what I'm saying? That's why it's important to look at the telltale signs. They know, especially in Beaumont, everybody's at somebody's house, they cooking, they doing something. Nobody's not gonna be worrying about wanting to go vote nowhere. Y'all better look at the signs why that date is set the way it is. So that's
and this is what one of my main things have been. Elections are won during early voting. So if we know that we're not going to vote on Juneteenth, what we're going to do is we're going to push the initiative to get out the vote for early voting every day during early voting. I think it's May the 11th through the 17th.
Yes. It's June 7th.
I'm sorry.
June 7th to June 15th. We have to vote.
Early. Get out early. Go out with the early voting and make sure that your voice is counted.
And see, and that's the thing. That's why they want to try to suppress it so bad, because like I said, this is a pivotal moment. So what you all have to understand, people of Beaumont, your voice, how you handle this, you handle it at the voting poll. That's how you handle it. So you want to have change in Beaumont, Texas, you got to go vote. You can't just sit up here and complain when things don't go your way, and then you don't turn around and you don't vote.
Yes.
You gotta vote, people, because that we had our ancestors to die for us to even have that right.
Right.
You know what I mean? So the main thing is that you have to vote like your life depended on it. And so like the young lady said, early voting, that's how you really win with the early voting. That's why they trying to bring this House Bill 6 and the Senate Bill 7. That's why they trying to do all of this foolishness.
Absolutely.
So that's why you have to get out and vote. Make this a change agent election. Y'all did it with Zena Stevens. You can do it again. This is easy, you know? You just got to get out there and do it. And you know you're not going to vote on no June 19th because I'm going to be straight up. I wouldn't be going vote on no June 19th. Okay.
So I'm glad we're having this dialogue tonight, is because it is very important that the people here in Beaumont, Texas understand, the African-American people of Beaumont, Texas understand we have to consolidate and come together as a whole. We got to be on one accord. And I'm going to explain to you why I keep saying one accord. It's going to take us all to vote. This is the first time in 180 years history of Beaumont, Texas, that we will have an opportunity to be the majority of the city council. So let me explain that to you. Let me explain that to you. We just voted in Ward 4.
Okay.
We voted in Chris
Durio.
And Ward 3, we had Alwyn Samuel. At large, we now have A.J. Turner. Now, that's 3. We always say we need 4. You need 4. Well, now the tiebreaker of anything would be the mayor, because if it come up to a 3-3 vote, we have a tiebreaker in the mayor. This is the first time that we're going to have an opportunity to do this. This is the closest we've ever come to that 4th vote. So I'm asking everyone in the African-American community, or those who knows who's, and let us say this, I'm going to ask everyone in Beaumont, Texas, every voting citizen in Beaumont, Texas, to vote, come out early and vote. We're going to early vote. We're not going to vote Juneteenth. We're going to vote early. We're going to early vote. And the reason why I'm saying this is that, again, this is the first time in the history of this city that we can have the majority of the council, which is the makeup of the population of Beaumont, Texas, the African American.
And you know what else too, to add to that, is that local elections matter big time.
And this is a local election. This is important.
Local election.
It's very important that we get out and vote. I'm asking the people, not just the African American people of Beaumont. I'm not, let us say this. Knowledge is Power podcast is not endorsing anyone. Tony Renfro is endorsing someone. Now, the reason why I'm saying this, I'm not voting because of color, because she's a Black African American. I'm voting for the most electable person, a person with knowledge and experience. The most experience. Now, I don't know the other fellow. We met before. We chatted about.
Unfortunately, he couldn't make it to Knowledge's Power Podcast Live.
Right. We wouldn't. Yeah, go ahead. Tell that part.
Well, I just want to say that when we invited him on, his schedule was too full to come on Knowledge's Power Podcast Live. So, with that being said, all we know is what we've heard, and we've only heard from one candidate that's currently in the mayoral race, and that's Robin Donata Mouton. Okay, so we don't know all the ins and outs and answers to his questions because he wasn't privy enough to we didn't make the cut.
Well, that's a sign right there, because y'all don't matter.
Right. We don't matter. So we're going to show who matters. You can paint that picture on me, but don't tell you people, don't judge.
It appears to me, because if you mattered, he'll be on the show. So that should show you who you dealing with if they was to get even in that seat. That means people of Beaumont is not going to matter. You're not on the top of the food chain.
We want representative, someone that we can connect with.
Somebody that's for the people. You want somebody that's going to be for the people.
That's right.
For the people, by the people, and that's going to be loved by the people. And then also that's going to do work within the community, because it is work that needs to be done in Beaumont. It's work.
Yes, it is.
It's work.
And they're also going to take the initiative to clear their schedule to make sure that one of the top grossing podcasts in Beaumont, that you put that on your schedule.
Yes.
Yeah. You know what? That's just how they do. And so when that happens, that is a telltale sign to let you know how they're going to be when they're in office.
That's right. So people, if you're listening and you're watching, please share this with everyone you know. Every person share it to 5 other people. Tag them, put them on the show. We need this vote. We need you to vote. We need you to come out early. And we're going to vote like we never voted before in Beaumont, Texas. I'm not directing it just to the African American community. I'm asking for the people with a good heart to vote for the person that has the experience, that's been there, that has 2 times mayor pro tem, and we know her, and we know her, and we can pick up the phone.
Need to do.
We got a connection. I don't know this other guy.
Well, clearly he don't want to know you because he ain't come on your show.
So we're voting for Robert.
Oh, we got a new queen in the space.
Yes, sir.
Hey, how you doing, sir?
That's Dr. Candice Matthews. She's joined us from Houston. Candice is tell the audience what you are about, boo.
Oh, okay. I know y'all seen me coming raising Cane in Beaumont because I go all over the state. I am the statewide accountability chair for the Texas Coalition of Black Democrats, the Texas Black Caucus. So I get with Michael Cooper, who's also running for governor. We've done several things together. We go pretty much all over the state and address accountability issues when it need to be. And so the reason why that I felt that we need to come to Beaumont is because the Speaker of the House is from there. Okay. Mm-hmm. And so they feeling, I'm just gonna say this, his feathers was ruffled. Okay. Because at the end of the day, we're not going to just take this Senate Bill 7 and House Bill 6 sitting down. We're not going to do that at all. Okay, because we're not going to have an assault on our democracy with these Jim Crow 2.0 initiatives that they trying to pull.
Wow. Okay? And what she's talking about is called voter depression. Suppression. Voter suppression.
Suppression.
Yeah, voter suppression. Because see, what they're clearly doing is that they want to put all of these obstacles to keep you from wanting to vote. Because again, if your vote was not powerful, why are they trying to suppress it? Okay. Then on top of that, local elections matter. When you want things done in your city, the local elections is what's going to matter. Because when you don't have your streets not looking right, you don't have any kind of contracts being given to African Americans or brown or whatever, you want to make sure that you have the right person in place that's going to be for the community, that is going to flourish your city. Because let me tell you, in Houston, we don't play that mess out here. Okay, we hold them all accountable out here. So that goes from the mayor all the way on down to state reps, all the way on down to the judges, the DA, everybody. Because at the end of the day, your local elections is what will pull your community where it needs to go. But if you put the wrong people in there, then you can't get mad.
That's right.
And when you don't vote, guess what? That's actually a vote for the person who you don't need to be in there.
That's right.
I totally agree.
Talk about it.
Exactly.
Talk about it.
Let's be clear. Y'all want people to come out on Juneteenth to vote. Baby, I'm gonna be drinking. Who coming out there to come vote when you trying to hang with your family and stuff? Who trying to do that?
And the next day,
gonna go already in the beginning.
And the next day is Father's Day. So it's all a game, people. It's all a game.
And y'all know how it is in Beaumont. And I'm just gonna be 100 with that because my people is from Beaumont. I grew up in Beaumont. Between Beaumont and Houston, I already know how it is. When you talking about Juneteenth, you talking about Father's Day. Guess what? Father's Day, everybody going to the cemetery to go put stuff on their daddy. They going over there to what? Live Oak. They going over to what other funeral home they got over there?
They going to the South Park, the Champala Park to celebrate.
There you go. There you go.
Yep.
And then they going to Alice Key Park. They going to Terra Park.
We do Martin Luther King Park downtown. So I mean, like, yeah, I totally agree.
Just
like what we allowed here recently in our local elections, and I totally
right. Right. Now let me just say this.
About
Hey,
local election
now
being very important.
we had a mayor's race. Matter of fact, we had an election Saturday before last. It was a great race. All the candidates ran a good race, and I want to applaud them that ran the race. And those that won, I applaud them. The those that lost, I applaud them because they ran a good race. But now we need you, all those candidates that ran in the race that did not win, and those who ran and won, we need to come together. We need to block walk every part of town. We need to come together as one accord and vote this young lady in position. We are voting for Robin Mouton in position.
Well,
I'm just going to tell like it is. We're voting for Robin Mouton.
one thing I have to say, when I was in Beaumont, she's
Stop
very
selling out. Stop selling out. God damn it. Stop selling out. We're voting for Robin Mouton.
Well,
we're this close. We're this close. We're this close, Beaumont, to get that fourth deciding divided vote.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna say this. When I was in Beaumont,
It might not be your favorite. God damn it, but she's better than what we got coming.
well, I'm just gonna say this. When I was in Beaumont Saturday, her signs are very visible. I was like, who is Miss Mouton? But then I was told that, she was running. I'm like, okay. So the thing that y'all got to look at is y'all got to mobilize. Everybody got to mobilize. Everybody got to get together. I don't care if it's Pookie, Nook, whoever. Get their butt over there so they can vote. I don't care if you got to drive. Bring them there so they can vote.
And vote
You got to come
early.
together.
And vote early.
Absolutely.
Early voting is where elections are won.
That is correct. Especially if you want Beaumont to have a change, you want a change agent type mayor, you better vote for the right thing. Because when you don't vote, there's going to be a vote going to the other guy.
You want to add in there?
And outside of just voting, I mean, like, pour into these candidates. Don't be ready to receive a plan without rendering one. A lot of times we elect somebody, and the whole time we have expectations that they're going to do this, that, and the other, but the whole time we haven't presented a plan to none of these candidates and or elected officials. That's why one of the main reasons we have bills like these that you guys were talking about when I first came on is because we're so distant from the table, they feel they can write you out of the law.
Right. Right. And they can't beat us fair. This is why they try to suppress our votes.
I mean,
that's why you got Juneteenth.
That's why this election is on Juneteenth.
Even if you go back to like the how the state Republicans went from 19 seats to pass to 18 seats to pass because they lost seats.
Right.
That explains why Senate Bill 7 and House Bill 6 has been conjured up because of that. Because y'all got to look at this. They really do not want us in no type of office at all. They want to try to suppress us as much as possible because the black vote matters.
Yes, it does. It does. Yes, it does.
And y'all had an organization that came to Beaumont from Georgia that deals with Black Votes Matter. That is exactly what they're doing. So y'all got to do something that's going to bring these people to the polls. Somebody need to do a crawfish ball or something. Somebody need to have some Hennessy or something. Y'all need to bring them now. You got to bring them now. Somebody need a Zydeco band or something. That's going to get everybody to come out.
You're right. You're right. But not on Juneteenth.
not on Juneteenth. But now, you know what? But then, if you do it on Juneteenth and you have the right Zydeco band out there, I guarantee you're going to get some people coming out there to vote.
Well, it's going to be, you got so much competition on that day. They have so many activities going on that day.
And they need to have some activities going early voting to get the people to want to come out there to vote. Y'all need to get the Slab Riders out there because y'all got a whole bunch of Beaumont Slab Riders out there that need to be voting that is no longer on paper. Matter of fact, people that's watching this, if you got a criminal record, let me go on and enlighten you. Okay? Long as you're not on paper, you can vote, baby. You can vote. So don't let these folks tell you can't vote and you're no longer on no probation or you're no longer on parole. Because when you're off of those papers, baby, you can vote no matter what kind of criminal record you have.
Facts.
That part.
I agree. I definitely agree.
Y'all need something to bring the people out. Y'all need somebody to have got something.
Me personally, I think if Beaumont knew, if Black Beaumont knew who they were, they would come to the polls without a crawfish ball,
That's right.
without a Zydeco. If Black Beaumont knew that they are considered to be the Black Mecca of Texas per capita, we have more Black people in Beaumont per capita than Houston does. Facts.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Not
facts.
really.
Yes, ma'am.
Not really.
Capita.
Per capita.
Not per number.
Per capita.
Oh,
So
okay.
Per capita. We don't have a number, but per capita we do.
Right. That means you have more of a controlling force than any other representation here in the city of Beaumont.
Well, I'm gonna tell you what we did in Harris County. What we did in Harris County, we flipped Harris County blue. And this is the third largest county in the nation. And we flipped it. You see what I'm saying? So if we can do it, what's wrong with y'all? You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, we can do it.
Because it can be done. But I'm telling you what we did though. But what we did, we brought things to get people to come out to vote. And I'm gonna tell you what win election. The ground game is what win election.
Mm-hmm.
The ground game. We had people going into the hood. We had people going into the strip club. We had people going into all of the unorthodox places that a lot of your blue collar people wouldn't go to.
Facts. Real talk. When I go host these events, guess what they be saying? Oh, she ratchet. Well, it don't matter because the ratchet people registered to vote too.
Exactly. And I'm gonna tell you something. And you have to be able to get to that actual base. Because even though I have a PhD, but guess what? I'm not gonna be talking like they're going on Homestead, Macefield, and Tidwell. You understand what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Now, if I'm in River Oaks, it is very, very, very important that you vote because it's so meticulous that we need your vote. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But I can't tell.
Absolutely. We're going to adjust ourselves accordingly.
Man, look here. Y'all need to get out here.
You're speaking to.
Exactly. And then y'all already know the ones who gonna bring it in is the Pookie and Nook them. So you gotta have something out there for Pookie and Nook them to want to come out and vote. Because what we did at all the polls that we had out here in Houston, baby, they had something for those people. They had something to bring them out. Okay. We even had a slab ride. Now check this out. I had the slab riders coming to the state capitol. They ain't never seen nothing like that. Because of the George Floyd Act, because of the House Bill 6 and the Senate Bill 7. I had slab riders from all hoods from the state of Texas and circled that damn thing.
I saw that.
My thing is,
and even
they
after
can vote.
After that,
hey, Aunt, get your mic up a little bit. My Aunt, get your mic up a little bit. We can't hear you.
I'm sorry.
I get your mic up a little bit. We can't hear you that well. We hear you, but not loud enough.
I apologize.
That's okay. All right. Now go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, but what I was saying is that's that brings us back to, like you said, the Slab Riders. Like not long after they took over Austin is what I like to call it. They proposed, that they're drafting the bill to sort of kind of have it where you can't rally, you can't protest in groups or anything anymore. So be on the lookout for that too, to be passing or coming through the pipeline.
But see, that's why you have to be innovative. That's why you got to be innovative with what you do, because guess what? People driving in their cars, ain't shit you can do about that.
Right.
Because guess what? We had permits. Then on top of that, we had our own police escort.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So we beat them at their own game. And I had them now twice.
Yeah.
So y'all got a whole bunch of slab riders in Beaumont.
Yes, we do.
Y'all need to have something that's going to bring that population to want to come to vote. Because keep in mind, we know how important our vote is. We know this. right? But Pookie, Nook, and Shaquisha, them, they don't know that. So you got to bring something for them to want to come and vote. What do we like? We like drinks, we like food, and we like good music.
Mm-hmm. Well, let me break down the election numbers and position. We had 5 people running in a race, in barrel race. We've had 3 African Americans and 2 white. And the most vote was gotten by Raw West with about 45 and some change, correct? And Ms. Mouton with about 36. You had LaShawn Proctor with 26, 27, and you had Begita Smith, Hernandez Smith, with around 1,100 and some change. So if you take those 2 candidates that did not win, well, let us say this: we take all 3 candidates that ran, African Americans that ran in that race, and we come together and unite and put a ground game together uh, with because they all ran a good race. Everybody had a strong campaign. It was the most. I had never seen that here in Beaumont, Texas before. Every candidate had a strong ground game. They had a good campaign personnel. They had some of the best in the town that's working. If we all came together just like that, on one accord, there's no stopping. We've got the victory. So this is what I'm asking the people of Beaumont, Texas, and especially you in the African American community. Don't sell out. This is our time. You complain about you have bad streets. You complain about the crime. You complain about the sewer. You complain about your neighborhood. You complain about the police. You complain about equality. You complain about everything for the past 25, 30 years or more. This is the first time that we're that close to make them accountable. Once we put them in, make them accountable to see what they're going to do. This
I
is
agree.
our chance to win. This is our chance to do what we need to do. This is our chance to progress. It's a chance to make history. And not only are we just making history, but we're putting someone that knows the job.
Mm,
I think that
interesting.
it's super important that we follow through. This is what he's saying. I think it's super important that we follow through. What we cannot do is drop the ball. Okay. You voted, like you say, 3,600 voted for somebody, 2,700 voted for somebody, 1,100 voted for somebody, whatever. We need all y'all back out there casting another vote. We need you casting another vote. You cannot drop the ball. You cannot vote once and say, oh, my candidate didn't win. I'm not voting no more. That's what we don't need. We don't need that. We need everybody back out there at the polls. We don't need to drop the ball on this mayoral runoff. We need to see people showing up to the polls. And I'm with Miss the lady from Houston because I feel like we got to do something to get people out there. We got to do something that's going to make the people want to show up. That's going to make them want to come. That's going to make them want to take part and be involved. You got to have something out there for the people when they get there, when they show up. What's up? But we going to do this, but we going to do that. Just like they doing with the COVID. You get your COVID shot, you get a free bill. Whatever it takes, whatever it takes. They didn't came to the conclusion that we want it by all costs. So we got to come to the conclusion that we want it by all costs too. That means whatever it's gonna take, sausage, links, crawfish. I don't know what all we're gonna have to do, but we got to get it going.
And you know what? The thing about it is that you got to be innovative when y'all do this, because innovation is something that, because if you keep doing stuff the same way and think you're going to get different results, that's insanity. That's not happening. You have to do something innovative to get everybody to come out to vote. You got to have something that's going to draw everybody to come in. I mean, even bring your kids, whatever. But you got to do something that's going to bring them. And what bring people that look like us? Good food, music, right? And a
Yes.
party. That's what it does.
I
Because if
agree
we
with
can flip
bringing
Harris
the
County,
kids.
y'all can flip Jefferson.
And for
I agree
those,
with bringing the family, make it a family event, a teaching opportunity to expose your children to the process that they
Exactly.
too one day will have to take part in.
And another thing that I thought that would be really, really good, and this is something that I think that we're going to start doing here in Harris County, is also having uh, voting seminars across the county. You know what I mean? Like letting them know this is why it's important for you to vote. This is like, say, for instance, by me being over accountability, right? So this time we're going to have data so you'll know who to vote for and who not to vote for. Not going to just be going by word of mouth. You know what I mean? We're going to have a legislative scorecard. I'm going to have it down there in Beaumont too, because you're going to know what your state rep voted for. You see what I'm saying? So you want to be able to have the tools that you need so you can vote for the right person. Because we have so many of these sapsuckers running through here, want to tell you what you want to hear, and when they get in office, they doing something else. See, the time is out for all of that. It's cancel culture time now, baby. We're not playing none of that. Like what we do here in Houston, like when what Ted Cruz was over there with that foolishness, baby, we was at his house. Okay, we had mariachi bands, we had everybody over there, letting them know that what you doing is unacceptable, and we gonna unseat you.
And I say this all the time, heads gonna roll, baby. They know me. That's my favorite phrase. Some heads gonna roll. You don't align with what we want and what we need and what our objectives are and what our agendas are. You need to go. We're gonna vote you out, baby. We're gonna get you out.
if those are just not joining us, we've been here about 36 minutes, and we're talking about the Beaumont Bears runoff race between Robin Mouton and Raw West. And the most important thing that we don't want to kind of fast forward you through this deal right quick. We are at the closest part of making history here in Beaumont, Texas, for the first time in 180 years of Beaumont history, to be the majority of the city council. And we're wanting to come together and unite our community together because we've been divided for so long. And that we want to come together and bring everybody together on one accord and vote for our representative that are going to represent us that we've been lacking for many, many years. That's going to be the fourth count. That's going to be the tiebreaker for anything that we need to accomplish here in Beaumont, Texas. So I'm just making a little short um, come back here to let you all know what we've been talking about if you're just not joining us. But we're voting for a runoff. We're having a Beaumont mayor runoff, and it's the early voting is June the 5th, no, June the 7th through the 15th. And this is when we're going to vote. Those 5 days, we're going to vote those 5 days. We're going to put Miss Robin Mouton in office those first 5 days of early voting. Um, Anybody want to add that, piggyback on me?
Well, it can be done
We
because
can, and we can do it.
y'all
We
can
can
do
do it.
this.
We
It
can
can
do
be
it.
done
Hey,
because
Sonny. Yeah, we can do it. We can do it.
yeah.
LaDon and someone is letting you know that they're ready to get together and get something done. So let's vote.
Let me know when the party is, because I'm gonna come down now.
Oh, wait a minute.
I'm gonna
You want to talk?
definitely let you know. I'm working on some get out the vote initiatives, and I want to make sure that here locally, I try to do everything that I can to just encourage the voters and just impress upon them the importance of voting and letting them know that they only have two powers. They have buying power and they have voting power. Where you spend your dollars and who you elect to put in the office. That's all the powers that you got. So we want to make sure that we have the most thoughtful, knowledgeable, intellectual, caring, compassionate people in office, people that are going to recognize the importance of our community and people that are going to represent our issues, that are going to take things that matter to us to heart and that are going to be honest with us and that are also going to be willing to be held accountable because we coming. If we elect you and you do not perform, we will have a scorecard. We will
Oh
be
yeah,
tab.
we're gonna put your ass
We
out.
will be addressing the non-follow up. If you do not follow up, if you do not adhere to the program, we will remove you. Heads will roll.
Well, I
And
tell
like
you this: if the coalition did endorse Joe behind, I'm coming down now. And if you ain't
Hey,
doing what you're supposed to do, I'm going to blast your behind. That's what I'm going to do.
I keep trying to tell people, especially residents of Texas, you do have the recall process. If there's a candidate, especially a PAC or any other group that endorses a candidate, and that candidate has not done what they promised or said that they would do, and you paid them to do it, there's that recall process. Again, even if the citizens of a particular area aren't okay with their leadership, their elected leadership here in the state of Texas, you do have the recall process. So you don't have to wait till the next election to have a candidate come sit their ass down. You can do that at the power of the people, at the whenever it's beneficial for the people. So don't wait till the next election, because then what you did was you transgressed yourself 2 years or a year and a half under the thumb of somebody else that's going to restrict you and then turn you to a mind where you feel like this process is not in the best benefit of and or for me. So make them come sit down. And another thing I definitely want to point out, especially here in Jefferson County, and it goes back to accountability. If you have any candidate that's on the ballot and you haven't investigated the process of the count, and the counters, then you're never going to have that power. You're never going to have that position. You're never going to have that candidate in that seat, because here in Jefferson County, we have an establishment that purchases elections. And those numbers that Tony read off, if you'd read back a few elections ago, you'll see those same numbers. Only difference now is that it's distributed a totally different way, because you don't have that many people. You don't have as many people as you have in the past on those ballots. But I guarantee you, those numbers that Tony read out to you, if you add those together, plus what was reported, you are not going to get the 16 to 19% that they said came out. I guarantee it.
Perry, you want to add something to that?
I want you to break that down. You said that the numbers ain't gonna add up. Can we break that down?
Not to the percentage that they said that came out.
Yeah.
If they said 16 to 19% of the election came out this time, and I don't think that's what it was, but if they said that, the numbers that they reported at the polls on the door, that don't match.
No.
And again, I tell a lot of people, I was educated in old BISD, and numbers don't lie, but people will manipulate numbers, and numbers will tell you somebody lying.
Right. Yeah. I agree wholeheartedly. And one of the things that we have to understand about this, and I want to be real quick because y'all know I can take my time about some stuff, but this, we dealing with this in Florida the same way. I mean, we just coming off one of the craziest voting laws being passed after what was considered a very successful election in 2020. And as I've always said to people, and we must understand this, when they told us that the 2020 election was the most secure election, they weren't lying. But security and accurate are not synonymous. See, and so we are following, we keep falling into this whole bait and switch because they know we're gonna be like rabid dogs when it comes to voter suppression. And as long as they can keep you on voter suppression, what was the old thing that they used to do in Vietnam? They used to call it I think hide and poke or something, where you give your enemy something that they think that they're looking for, so that they think that they've captured something, only to find out that really the big surprise was waiting further down in the jungle. And so we keep falling into this same predicament. We talking about making history. all the while forgetting Reconstruction was history. Reconstruction was some big ass history.
Yes, sir. Big ass.
Coming straight out of slavery into positions of power. And so what I want us to remember, just like Beaumont has a history, and Beaumont had a first city councilman, black city councilman, Beaumont had a first black mayor, those first also leads into a season. And if we aren't prepared, and if we don't have prepared leaders for the season, and the attack that comes with the season for this so-called, we making history shit that we keep talking about. Because history doesn't mean anything if it's not about progress.
Hey, I agree. I agree with that.
Facts.
Right. And so I'm happy that Beaumont has made these changes. But at the same time, I'm also cognizant of the season that we're in. And I'm not just talking about Beaumont, I'm talking about this nation and where we are politically. Because we got one party that's just off the rails. When you talk about the GOP, they're just off the rails.
They're off the rail, off the track, off everything.
Yeah. But we need a strong GOP. We need a strong Republican Party.
Yes.
And here's why. Because a strong Republican Party brings about a stronger Democratic Party or a stronger challenge. We're in a season now that I call, we're in a season of liars, cowards, and opportunists. Oh my.
That's right.
This ain't ours. This is liars. These are cowards, and we got opportunists. And we've got to pick out between these groups, because I keep saying, we talk about our supporters and these Democrats, but I am totally frustrated because Democrats only feel like they can do something when they're in the minority, in the majority. Republicans will throw a monkey wrench in any Democratic plans when they in the minority.
Right. Filibuster.
And I want them kind of damn fighters on my side. I don't need you sticking up for voter integrity now. It's easy to talk about it now. Back in 2020, when I was doing this and I was trying to talk to elected officials about it, nobody wanted to talk about it. We could have beat this lie ahead of time, but nobody wanted to talk about it because that wasn't fashionable and it sounded like crazy talk. And so I'm saying the same thing as we go into this election. I support Robin. I support all the candidates that are sitting across that lake. But I can't have you be cowards.
That's what I'm talking about.
I can't count on a coward. I don't need you doing good times. And if you all can't learn to come talk to the people, that is where your strength is. You use the people to get there, and then all of a sudden now they're complaining. You don't want to take a phone call. You don't want to listen. All they do is complain. Can you go talk to them? Well, I've heard story after story of people calling, talking about how they got their toilets to work and how they looked out for their mama because they made a call. I'm happy for it, but that's just one family. And we've got to do better. And I've told Robin to her, in person, you have got to walk into this position with your head on the swivel because they coming after you.
Yes, sir. Let me raise my hand.
And it's not the same city council. It's not the same city council mess now. You at a different level.
Amen.
And so my talk is to us, not to the candidates, because they don't fear us. They don't.
Yeah.
Once a candidate is in office, they do not fear you. And we have got to bring the fear of God. And one of the things that we got to do is really learn this whole thing about elections. I tell a story. My sister, my older sister, Pat, taught us when we were kids how to play Monopoly. She was the oldest and the only one who could read. But she was only 10 years old. So we was playing Monopoly with these big ass rules off a 10-year-old comprehension. And we played Monopoly wrong for years. And my sister used the rules to her advantage. Because when she didn't like it, she came up with a rule that you couldn't win.
Come on.
We play the same games. We are here and we keep learning these backwards ass rules. And as Chris is saying, you know, we have got to learn the power of recall. We've got to learn every tool in this toolbox to our advantage. It's not just voting. Voting is the ticket that gets you into this circus. And that's all it is.
And being there for the people.
Yeah.
You got to be there for the people, because you had these jokers running around here for their own hidden agendas, their own personal agendas. And that's where accountability comes into play to wean they behind out. So that's why y'all have to get out here. Y'all need to be able to vote, because don't get mad when things don't go your way because you didn't vote. You need to utilize that time, the early voting, get it out the way, because y'all already know June 19th, they set that up on purpose to keep you at the house.
Well, here, and I'm gonna put it out here. I know nobody likes to talk about it, but I ain't from Beaumont. Well, I mean, I'm from Beaumont. I ain't in Beaumont, so y'all can hate me how you want.
But you say you don't live around the corner no more.
Right. But I just be honest?
Come on,
I think we had 3 viable candidates that we could have positioned to sit around that lecture.
Yes.
We talking about 4. We could have had 5 or 6.
That's right.
Yes.
Come on.
If we had played our cards right.
That's
so
right.
that's the opportunities that I'm talking
If
about.
we had listened to one another instead of trying to
That's
outdo
right.
one another,
I
we
tried
could have
to-
lined the shit up differently, but nobody wanted to talk about that though. So you just
No.
struck a nerve with me with that one. Yeah, they didn't want to hear it.
So how we gonna deal with these opportunities? Because the strike's not gonna change.
I was
Nope.
about to say they're gonna always be there.
They're gonna always be opportunities.
Gonna always be there, and they're gonna always steal numbers from
Right.
you. But again, you have to cultivate not only that candidate, but you have to cultivate that population that's gonna follow and pour into, be willing to pour into and receive from that candidate. I tell any and everybody, a candidate is nothing but access. And if you are not going to grant me access, I'm gonna have you come sit down. If you don't, I'm not gonna blast you. I ain't got time for all that, because precious time is at waste whenever I'm going back and forward with you.
Yeah.
But if you deny me access and I make it known the access that's due to me, even if I got to go around you to get what I need, I'll do it. I don't mind. Yeah. And like I said, with the recall process, come sit down with the rest of us. Because not just me, you are denying access, but those who follow behind me.
But you know what Beaumont need, and I just got to be straight up, y'all need a strong black caucus there. Y'all have it, but y'all need to get some members in there.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all have it, because that's the hammer, is your black caucus. That's the hammer. That's the king-making organization.
Well, can I add to that? We need a caucus with a vision.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, right. Hey, hold on.
We can't just
I
can't have no mass mobs. We can't have no mass mobs out here.
That's right. And they try to distract you.
Yeah.
And let me say this: we need a caucus, and it does. But what needs to also happen is, a lot of these people can't be afraid to be trainable, teachable, and coachable at any age. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
That means anybody can, everybody can learn, everybody can grow, everybody can improve, and anything that ain't growing is dead. So with that, we've got to be able to learn, adapt, and grow. And that means sometimes your idea isn't the only idea.
That's why
Yeah.
you got to mobilize. And that's why I'm saying y'all have an actual caucus in Beaumont that's part of the Texas Coalition.
Yes, you
Y'all
do.
got to mobilize that caucus right there. Load it up with members. And I'm telling you, y'all going to be the hammer and y'all going to be the helping hand.
That's it. That's
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
You know, I can't say much tonight, but um, I am not going to stop being a vocal piece for our community. I'm telling
They
you right
trying
now.
to stop you though. They trying.
But I'm not going to stop being
And
that.
I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna say this, and I'm done with that because I'm gonna say what I say. At the end of the day, y'all gotta recognize a witch hunt when you see it. Yeah, I said it, and I come down there to Beaumont and say it again. You recognize a witch hunt when you see it, because at the end of the day, don't try to be my friend when all the dust settles. And that's all I'm saying about that. Better recognize a witch hunt when you see it.
Tony, I think
Okay.
them. Tony, I think them
Ladonna.
numbers. Tony, I think them numbers got two up too fast. I think them numbers got two up too fast.
Yeah, but folks, again, we emphasizing, and we're emphasizing tonight, and today, and tomorrow, and the next day until Juneteenth. We are going to mobilize. We're going to get out in the streets. We're going to knock on doors. We're going to put everybody together, and we're going to put the offer. We're gonna put the our candidate in office. You already know who my candidate. I don't know the other guy, but I know the young lady.
Let me know when the party is, because I'm coming down there to give me a good old fish plate at the boat club.
Me too. But listen, guys, spread the word. Those are listening and watching. We need you to spread this word. Tag your friends, tag 5 friends, share it, whatever. We want to get the word out because there's a lot of people in this city do not even know there is a runoff. They don't know it's a runoff. They don't have a clue.
So that means y'all need to have a block party then.
We
They'll
gotta
Oh
know
have
man.
something. We have to have something to get these people
let
to
me
the
know when the
poll.
party is, because I'm coming to get me a fish plate.
But again, Knowledge is Power Podcast Live is an opportunity for us to share and vibrate information about to our community, educate our
Just a
community.
question, Tony.
Yes.
By chance, had you brought up Senate bill? It's a Senate bill that's out about charter schools here in Texas.
No, I don't know. No,
Oh,
I didn't bring it up.
that's that house bill. That's
Oh,
that
that
bill
is a House
everybody's
bill.
mad about. Yeah.
It is a House bill.
Can
Yeah,
can
you
you
know what
explain?
they did?
Can you educate us with it? I'm not
See,
aware of it.
yeah, I'm gonna put it to you like this. It was they was on the House floor about that bill till like 3 a.m. And it got real brutal. It got to the fact where you had one of the state reps. I so love her, Vicky Goodwin, baby. She was yanking the mic, and they was trying to yank the mic from her. Then
Yeah, I
on top
saw
of
that.
that,
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
and that's why I said I can't run for office, because you know I wear that cowboy hat, and I would have took that cowboy hat off and windmill both of them jokes. You understand what I'm
Uh-huh.
saying? Then on top of that, they own about Harold Dutton. Like, they went to his office today. When I tell you, that's why I'm telling you about those organizations. They had Black Lives Matter. They had Invisible Houston. They had the Teachers Union. They had the LGBTQ caucus. Baby, they was all at his place because of that House bill about the transgender children. Then on top of that, about the charter school stuff. And so him and Alma Allen were going like this on the House floor, and they killed it on the floor. So baby, everybody, they talking about he need to get out of office. I mean, it's ooh, baby, it was some hot tea today.
Well, I'm gonna go around the table here and let's get our last words you'd like to say. And I'm gonna start off with Ladonna.
My final thought for tonight is very simple. Vote vote, vote. Local elections is where your voice actually matters. Your vote is your voice. So if you want to be vocal, then you should definitely vote local. Get out and vote. There are decisions that are going to be made on your behalf that's going to affect your life, that's going to affect your day to day life and what you have going on. And like she said, we don't want to hear you complaining and you're not exercising your right to vote. You have two powers. You got buying power, you got vote power. And who you elect matters. And this is one of those elections where your life really does depend on it.
Perry.
Uh, I guess, I've tried to kind of take this discussion away from politics because people kind of go in and out about their likes about politics. And so I've started to approach elections like this. We've all worked for someone, and I know we've all gotten raises and promotions. In a very general sense, that's all this is. Do I want to promote you to a point of importance in my life? That's it. Can I trust you to hold a significant position in my life? And if you haven't done anything in your current position other than just hold the position, that's not grounds for me to promote you. And we've got to quit taking all this nuance about it. Who can I trust to give me access and to speak on my behalf when I can't?
Talk to me.
And if you can't do that, I'm sorry. We can be buddies. You can be my brother. You can be my daddy or my mama. If you can't hold the job, it's not an indictment about you personally. It's about the position and the importance that it holds in my life. And I've got to approach that with that kind of sincerity, vigor, and foresight. Because it's not just for me. It's for my family. It's for my grandchildren. It's for my community. So I'm speaking for a lot of people who say, Perry, we trust you. Who do we vote for? And I hate it when people tell me that. Because, I done voted for some pretty low-down folk in my life. I have to admit it.
I have to.
Right.
I
We
made
all
a
have.
mistake.
We have fallen for the okie doke, and it's time out. And I don't want to play the politics game. I just want to put it, as they say, where the ghosts can eat it. Do you deserve this position in my life?
Unc.
Well, like
Hold your
Ladonna, I
shade sign
do.
up again, girl. Hold your shade sign up.
Well, I got another one. Baby, I keep it coming, honey. I got them all right here.
Well, I will definitely echo Ladonna. An educated vote will definitely take you far. A local vote will take you further. A local vote is what governs you right now. And like everybody on this podcast tonight has said, local votes matter because it governs you again right now. If your mayor was to say, I want to implement a 5 o'clock curfew and sign, at the time they sign, that 5 o'clock curfew is implemented. That's just how fast your local government works compared to your national government, where there's a whole bunch of other things that needs to pass. Your state may not accept it and or receive it, then it doesn't trickle down to you on your local level. Where again, your local vote, those individuals that you vote, not only bring your voice to the table on a local level, but also in the state, in the county, and on a national level as well, because there's a national meeting of mayors There's a national meeting of councilmen. There's a national meeting of city managers. So all of these individuals meet together. So if those individuals meet together, mayors from one end of Texas to the next, or one end of the country to the next, then you as residents have to meet from one end of the neighborhood to the next, from one end of the community to the next, so that you can put these individuals in place to not only birth what it is you're expecting on a local level, but to set the tone and expectations for those that you elect in the county level, on the state representative level, on the district level, on the, when it comes to governor, when it comes to district attorneys, when it comes to judges, when it comes to all of that. Your local level sets the tone for what you will allow your other elected officials to do with, like Perry said, governing me. That governs me. You have governance over me. And I'm meticulous about how many politicians and how much politics I will allow to be invoked in policy that actually governs me. So again, like the Queen said, and welcome to the Knowledge is Power podcast, be mindful of those and that which governs you. Politics doesn't. Politicians doesn't. But policy, like House bills and Senate bills, that governs you. And make sure that those individuals that you elect mimic and vote accordingly. And if not, there is this process called the recall process. I like to call it the come sit your ass back down with the rest of us process, because you're not doing right by the people who put you in office.
Dr. Matthews?
Well, I just want to say this, is that, see, what we have to make sure that these politicians understand, you work for us. Okay? We put you there. You need to do the will of the people, for the people, and by the people. And if you're not going to do that, you're going to be held accountable, because guess what? Accountability breeds responsibility, which means it is our responsibility as the people for them to understand that we are going to hold you accountable when you're doing good and when you're doing bad. You know what I'm saying? And then you got to make sure that when it comes to dealing with the vote, it's a reason why they're trying to suppress it. Because Black votes matter. Black votes is the main ingredient that can flip this race. Because if we flipped it in Harris County, you can flip it here in Beaumont. And Harris County is 10 times bigger than Jefferson. And you can flip it right here in Beaumont. But you can't do the same tactics and think you're going to get different results. That's not going to happen. You have to be innovative with everything that you're doing. Your ground game. You have to be innovative to get the Pookie, the Nooks, the Shaquishas, the Esmeraldas. You got to be able to get them out there so they can bring their children, so they can be able to vote.
Yeah.
That's what you're going to have to do. Because if not, then don't get mad when things don't go the way it's supposed to go and your city is not thriving. The economic development is not thriving.
Or in your favor, right?
You hold the responsibility to hold them with accountability. It's you.
Tony, can I add one more thing?
Go ahead,
and that is you all, we really have to work on empowering those individuals within the conservative party to stand up. I have plenty of Republican friends. Part of my business.
I do too.
Yeah, we don't have these issues, and I tell them all the time, I need the best of you, because if you don't give me the best, I'm left with one choice, and that's not always good for me, because as I say, we're dealing with liars, cowards, and opportunists. And so we have got to, if there's anything that Jefferson County can do, and that is, you've got to reconstitute whatever Republican Party that's there, because that stuff that's there now is going to take us down.
And y'all also need to get active and create a strong Black caucus in Jefferson County. Because I'm gonna say this, because what we do in Harris County, when we have elected officials, we tap they behind. Okay.
And with that caucus, you could definitely anticipate on a transparent election when you have such a large body governing and poll watching, and not poll watching for a particular candidate, but poll watching to know what the real numbers are being reported to the citizens of Beaumont.
So I'm just gonna say this: you have a coalition in Beaumont.
Yes, you
Yes,
do.
we do.
All you pay is $50 to become a member. You
That's
can pay
right.
$50 to go get something to eat.
Right.
You need to join the Black Caucus, the Golden Triangle
Golden Triangle.
Coalition of Black Democrats.
That's right.
That is the organization that is under the huge Black Caucus that I'm a part of, the
That's
Texas
right.
Coalition of Black Democrats. You need
Tell
to
Corolla I
join.
said hello.
I would tell them you need to join, because in order to get order where you live, you have to have a strong caucus in your area.
That's right.
Because
And
we
I'm-
got it on the state level.
Yeah.
We got it.
And I'm a member of the Golden Triangle Coalition of Black
And I'm
Democrats.
a member of the Texas Coalition of Black Democrats, Harris County. And then I'm also the accountability chair for Harris County and for statewide. So that's why I can go all over the state and stir up mess.
Yes,
I
stir
can
it
do
up.
that.
Stir it up, baby. Stir it up.
I stir that pot up, honey.
Excuse me, doctor.
Yes, sir.
I didn't get your name because you've
Oh.
been talking fire all night.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm Dr. Candice Matthews. They know me in Beaumont because I just came down there stirring up the gumbo pot. On Dave feeling behind. And baby, he was mad too. I don't care.
Yes.
Nah.
We may
Hey.
need you to
Not
come
going
stir the
crank
pot
up
on
again.
District Attorney Bob Worthing.
Oh, baby, send me the info.
Ooh.
Send me the info. Send me the info.
I'll be reaching out to you here shortly.
Yeah.
All I need you to do,
Yes,
send
ma'am.
me the info with the documentation and the complaint letter, and they don't take me nothing. I'll do a press conference in front of his office. I'll go in front of his house. I don't care. I'm that person.
Oh,
Yes, indeed.
I
I'm that
can't say
person.
a
I love
word
it.
right now.
Okay.
Yeah. Look here, Beaumont Enterprise. Look here, Beaumont Enterprise, Channel 6. They know me very well.
I know LaDonna found her.
Hell no, I'm listening because y'all normally think it's me. I'm so glad somebody else on here going. I'm just shutting the hell up tonight. I'm so glad she on here. See what I'm saying? I'm not by
Hey, look here.
myself.
I will come. Look there. I was just down there in Beaumont. Look, I was in Beaumont stirring up mess, and the Speaker of the House told some folk to call your dogs off. Then on top of that, I was in Galveston County stirring up mess because they had some excessive use of force done, and that was the smoking gun for me to go down there and tear they behind up. I will go anywhere in this state of Texas, and I will go in DC and stir it up.
We're
Because
definitely
guess
going
what?
to be reaching out to you here shortly.
I have my own business. I self-finance, which means you can't control me.
Hey man, sister, I'm with you. See what I'm saying? See what I'm saying?
So send me the drama y'all got in Beaumont so I can come down there and stir it up again. Because I'm
Cousin,
that.
Absolutely.
and that's my cousin, y'all. And you know, when I take a back seat, you know she rolling, huh?
Because look here, I'm that cousin. I don't take no mess off nobody. Okay? I'm that person. I'm about being what's right and for the people. And if you're not doing what you're supposed to do, I'm gonna come and I don't knock on doors. I kick.
That's right. That's right.
She talking like Mary Bell, man.
I'm telling you. Well, stop talking about my mama.
Hey, look here. Hey, look here. And I'm gonna tell y'all, and I'm gonna give y'all one little secret. If I'm coming down there with a cowboy hat on and some ostrich boots, I'm kicking down doors. All of them.
Folks, you all just listen to an hour of Knowledge of Power Podcast Live. We had a great show here tonight with my guest, Dr. Candice Matthews, my Chris Jones and Perry Busby, and my co-host LaDonna Sherwood. Great conversation, great dialogue, and we're gonna come back with it some more because we cannot stop until this is done. So the next time we'll be back with Knowledge is Power Podcast Live. Remember, people, we're voting June the 7th, early voting through the 15th of June. And we're voting for Robin Donata Bouton. God bless everyone. God bless everyone.
Beaumont. See you soon, Beaumont.
That's right. Thank you, everybody. God bless you. Love you. And I love all your prayers. And all is well.
Thank you for watching Knowledge is Power Podcast Live. Be sure to like and subscribe to all Knowledge is Power social media pages.